Okay guys, welcome to the second of 3 videos on the LUMIPro lighting system, and this particular video is going to be a deeper dive into the projector system. So we've all seen the regular lights, and that was the discussion of the first video, which is the 3 wearable lights that are controllable as point lights. What a projector light is different than a prim light in the fact that it's not like a lampshade that sends the light everywhere, but it's more like a flashlight and sends the light anywhere. So I'm going to put a projector on Angora here, so I'm going to select Angora as a model. You'll see she comes up in here, and then up in this part of the HUD, I'm going, which is we call the toolbox, I'm going to res. And it gives me a choice of 2 things to res. I'm going to res a projector. And you can see what happens as soon as the projector appears. It creates a light that, like a flashlight, creates lights and lighting and shadows. Now, for this to go, you have a couple things you have to do. So let me go up to the graphics settings, and you need to have lighting and shadows turned on. Ambient inclusion is up to you, and then sun, moon, and projectors need to be turned on for you to actually see the lights. One other thing you can look at is if that doesn't work here is under help about, you need to look at your OpenGL settings, and the OpenGL settings need to be greater than 3.0 or greater. If not, you need to go to your graphics card driver company and get an update to your graphics card until you get to at least OpenGL 3. Now, once you have a projector, let's take a look at this thing here. Projector is a can that projects light. The way you control the light is with the little joystick up on the toolbox here, and I can go up, I can go down, let me focus on her. I can take the can left and I can take the can right. There's a circle in the center, and this gives you a bit finer control. For example, I can go up and right by clicking in the middle here, or I can go up and left, or I can just go straight down. I can touch near the center and make fine movements. And what this allows you to do is you can actually focus your model, get the camera the way you like it, and then adjust the shadow. Notice how the shadow's moving in the background. I can sit there and control the shadow without having to move the can around. And this adds a lot of value doing it this way. Let's talk about what the can has. If we look at the can here closer, and if I turn the transparency on, and I guess I gotta hit edit too, what you're gonna see is 9 little boxes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are the little lights that are on this thing. And one of the 9 lights is turned on. I call these things bulbs. And to control the projector, you can just click on the back of the projector and bring up the bulbs. And the first bulb that's brought up is a floodlight. It's just a broad flood. Let me give an example. I can go to like a medium spotlight on her. Give it a chance to res here, and you can see now that this light is projecting kind of as a theatrical medium spotlight. I think this is awfully cool, by the way. So you can just adjust the position and do what you want here. There are some other ones here beyond the floodlights. There's some ones that you might see, for example, in wind light settings. This one bringing up a set of windows, and I can set the position of this thing. Beyond just going left and right and up and down, I can also go in and out with these 2 buttons over here, and I can adjust this thing to set the size of the window and the position the way I want it. Okay. There's a rotation on the bulbs, and for example, if I go to the rotation, let's say I want this position a little bit different, I can just hit it on slow, wait till I get the right rotation, and then hit off, for example. And now I've got this in a slightly different rotation. Okay. There's some other bulbs in here. There's some soft textures. There's some blinds. There's a fun one called stars, etc. Hit me up for an advanced video, but you can actually load your own textures into the bulb and project a custom texture of your own if you want. Now, just as we had 3 colors to the lights, we had the red, green, and blue, and the sum of that equals white. There's now a set of black buttons, and that's because I made the projector black. And I can actually control the lighting the same way I did with the 3 projectable light. I can also do that here. So, for example, I can take this projector and turn it orange. And you can see the consequence of turning that orange. Same rules on saturation. I can make it a lot more orange or less orange, etc. I can pick any of the warming colors. I can go to the cooling colors, which are kind of fun, especially if you set the saturation down to this guy. He's pretty compelling. It looks a little bit like moonlight. Let's just go back to white here for this demonstration here. Okay, and the next thing that a projector has is something called a gobo. And oh, by the way, not only can you touch the back of the can, there's this little button right here, and when you touch that, it brings up the same menu as if you touch the back of the can. And what a gobo is a go-between. Let me turn on one of the go-betweens, and we will use it as an example. I'm going to turn on the tree shadows here for a second. And now I actually have tree shadows mixed with the window lights here. Let me show you what this is. A gobo is a go-between in theatrical terms, if I can move my mouse today. And what you're seeing here is a prim that's actually inserted between the light and the talent, and therefore then it projects that texture, and you can see the tree shadow is working its way on the wall here. I've got the same tricks on gobos. I've got multiple gobos loaded in here. You can also this is a mod object. You can add your own gobos in here. I've got a couple fun ones like a spirograph, etc. In either case, you guys have a lot of degrees of freedom in playing with gobos and loading your own in. Let's go back and go back to a floodlight so you can see that a little bit better. And I'm going to hit a flood bulb with the gobo in that, and you can see the consequence of this. All right, let's turn the gobo off for a second here, and let's keep going here. So gobo, and I'm just going to go for a transparent gobo. Okay, so we're just back to this floodlight here. And you can see the floodlight only has a certain degree of field, and if I want to back it up, I can light the whole room up and set this thing down here. So let's say I want to actually have a couple different lights here. Well, it's pretty easy. And you just sit there and say res, and we're going to res a second projector. Now you can see I've got a projector here and a projector here, and I end up with two sets of shadows on her. And you can see I can hide the balls and get them out of the way here. If I set the global alpha to 0, everything goes away, and then I can turn the projectors back on with their alpha. Okay, so now I've got two projectors, and when you move them around now, they move together in unison, which might be interesting. If you set their color, for example, if I set them to orange, they set their colors together. If you only wanted to make an adjustment to one of them, what you do is there's actually, you can just click on this, and when you click on a projector, notice a padlock came up. Once a projector is locked, it sticks in position, and so it's frozen, and so now the other projector is unlocked, and so I can make a movement to the second projector. Let's say we want to set the second projector to a medium spotlight on here. Let's now lock this guy, and I'm going to unlock this one here, and I'll click the back of it this time, and I'm going to go to a medium spot on this one, and now I've got two spotlights on her. And now I can move this guy the way I want him, lock him into place, unlock this one, move this in place. Let's say I want to change the color of this over, I'll pick like a sepia for that one. And you guys can get the idea of what we're working on here. This gives us, you can have as many projectors as you've got ability to res in a sim, and life is good. Okay, so let's talk about a situation where you actually can't res, and this is what we did in the release that we did today on March 19th here, and that is a wearable projector. Oh, by the way, we're going to go ahead and get rid of these lights here. They're both unlocked. I'm just going to hit deres, and they're both going to go away. I can now give lights, and I'm going to give a set of lights to Angora, and she now gets a folder of tasks, and one of the things that she can wear is a projector. Now, this is really good for the machinima types in the fact that this projector is actually not resed in world. This projector is attached to her. So, oops, I'm moving the wrong avatar here. But when she moves around, the projector moves with her. She can take this projector wherever wherever we want to go. It'll work in zero-res sims. It'll work in non-res sims. It'll work in zero-script sims, and then it effectively manages just the same. Notice I can move its position. I can set its color. I can do anything that I can do on a resable projector. I can also do with this wearable projector. She can wear more than one, although when you get the lights, it just gives one. You would just have her make a copy and give her another one. All right, guys, that is the projector system as part of LUMIPro.